cryptocurrency still on the young age beginning?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, now all the Silicon Valley, all like VCs, they're all in the space now because they understand. Oh, before it was young people, this is fake. Like all the media, all the older generations, this is fake technology. Like when you look at the technology, when they originally created in 2009, the target price is $10 million.
10 million
per Bitcoin.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like, I missed out, but you got to remember 2% of the world now use cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
And if this does become the standard currency that they predicted when they created it, the whole world will use Bitcoin. Okay. So 2% of the world. And countries are adopting this as their standard. Malaysia talked about it today that they're going to look into making it the legal tender in Malaysia. El Salvador already made it the legal tender. Countries are starting to make this their currency. And that's what it was created for. So it was $1, it was $3,000, it was $20,000, it was $70,000. Now it's like $40,000. But the original creation, the price that they predict is $10 million. Building their own money, trying to create their own money. Yeah, like Facebook had its own coin. But usually the whole point of crypto is that no one owns it, so you can't have your own one. So they try first to come in and build their own one, then they realize, oh, that's not what the technology is, and then they usually use one of the cryptos, like Bitcoin. Usually everything is going to use either Bitcoin or Ethereum, most of the big companies, because these are the established, like, strong coins or chains. It's more than just a coin, it's like it's a chain, a blockchain, so it's like a database that's been running for a long time. The more it's running, the more powerful it is, the stronger it is, the more people have tried to hack it, and it's stopped hacking. It's not been able to be hacked, like it's proved. So the more it's proved, the more secure it is. So when a big company comes, they want to use the most secure ones, and the most secure ones are the biggest ones that have been running the longest.
So the law that implemented in UAE now last week, this law, how it will help the investor? So
I'm on the UAE Blockchain Council, and we're like talking about this and like working with the government to make this correct, like the right way. So at first they wanted to make a blanket law that all cryptocurrency needs to be registered in Dubai, registered in the UAE. But that's actually not possible because Bitcoin is not, a lot of these are not owned by anyone. The whole point of cryptocurrency is decentralization. No one owns Bitcoin. And so it's going to be very through this kind of system. So you're just going to use PayPass for everything, but it's going to use cryptocurrency, Bitcoin mainly, as the payment. Because it's instant, there's no control of it. Why Bitcoin is so like powerful and why everyone will use it as their payment systems is you can't make any more of it. So like every other currency, to me now, like doing this, when I travel many countries, I live in many countries. In 1 month I can travel maybe a lot of countries for conferences and my wallet gets full of like all these different currencies from all these countries. And when I look at it now, it's like monopoly money, you know? This blue colored money, even dirham, beautiful, but US dollar, it's like papers with people's faces and stuff like this. But Bitcoin to me is really money because no one can, it's called hard money, no one can create more of it. US dollar, they can print. Dirham, they control the money. Like euro, it's printed. They can say how much euro, they can make more euro. Yesterday or in America, 3 days ago, they printed another 1.5 trillion for the infrastructure package.
Exactly,
1.5 trillion. It's a huge amount. In the last few years, they've done almost half the money supply is doubled the US dollar. So that means if you had $100,000, you have now $50,000 really of spending money. So that's why there's no way to stop this. Bitcoin will become the dominant currency. Like a computer that's using this technology.
Yes.
That can run different programs, different processes.
Okay.
BNB is something different. BNB is an exchange.
Yes.
So where you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies. Okay. So they're just using Bitcoin's technology in different ways. But Bitcoin is the only one that no one owns.
Okay.
So the other ones, they can change it. They can, it's like very broad and can change a lot and many different technologies coming from it. But Bitcoin's it's kind of its own unique system.
Okay.
So in the long run, I think there will be a disconnect at some point. At the moment now, everything moves with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up, all these altcoins go up. Bitcoin goes down, the altcoins come down.
Correct.
But at some point, Bitcoin is going to start, once it reaches around 5 trillion to 10 trillion, it will start becoming very, the
like
price
stable
will stable.
Okay.
How much is it now?
1 trillion.
1 trillion. 1 trillion is like 2% of the total.
Total money that they say in the world is 400 trillion.
400.
So really like, and in the long run, they think that all money will be on Bitcoin's blockchain.
Yeah, imagine so much money coming in, and price of course has to go up.
So when you have limited supply and a lot of demand, only the price can change. NFT, non-fungible token, but what it means is you have a digital representation of a real world, or not even real world, but so you're like making a token that says you own the rights to something. Okay, and only if you have this token do you actually own the rights to this thing. So now they're using it for art. Now they're using it for this digital art, real art. But in the long run, you won't have a paper that says you own your car. You'll have this token, NFT, that says you own your car. In the future, you won't have a paper that says you own your apartment. You'll have a token that says you own this apartment. And when you have this token, you can see on the blockchain, no one can ever change it. And you can see this token is owned by this person. And if you want to sell me your apartment, you'll send me, and I will send you, for example, Bitcoin, and you send me this token, and now I own your apartment on the blockchain.
Without any agreement, without nothing, just by...
The agreement is your confirmation when you make the transaction.
That's it.
But it's all recorded for everyone to see. So NFTs they're just playing with this technology now and seeing what can be built with it.
But NFT, they're playing with this technology in terms of art or what?
Yeah, it's starting with art and images and like simple things that can be. But now there's already people creating NFTs for whole apartment complexes, and it's already being done. Now you can buy apartments in NFT form. They're selling, and metaverse is like different, like everything moving on to a digital world. Like we use computer now, it's 2D. Metaverse will be you're using computer but 3D, so you'll be like inside the computer.
So Facebook came and said we were the first one to use the metaverse, right?
In a way, they were the first one to make it very popular.
At the popular, okay.
Yeah.
Because they will have control also on this, no?
In metaverse aspect, yes. They will control, like, you have to go into their Oculus, their headset, and then you go into their games and their infrastructure, their environment. But many companies, like the internet, will start producing things as well.
So how we can make ourselves ready for Web3 as an Arab world, I'm saying, because we have some privacy, right? You got this.
That's the problem. That's the problem. This is one of the problems that's going to happen.
Yeah.
With this technology, there's going to be no one that you can't control it. There's no. It's like other things in the previous internet and Web 2. You could block websites. You could block people's speech. You could block someone saying something bad online. In this next version, there's no one that, like in UAE, start teaching it in schools early, because in America, in different countries now, they're starting to teach this to the young generation in schools. Most of the people that are using this technology, they learn by themselves. You know, online, you can find a lot of information. But start teaching it in schools, because everything, it's like teaching the internet. Like, so if you remember the internet when it came, some countries started teaching the internet early. Like in Australia, we had computers when we were very young, teaching us about the internet, how to use it. Some other countries, no. And the countries that started learning about the internet early and started teaching in schools, they benefited more from this technology. Same will happen for crypto. So if you start teaching this in schools, it'll be the best thing. Teaching how it works, how this blockchain technology works, what it is. And it could just be part of like IT course, the same IT classes. Same as the internet class, adding blockchain.